second?
Aye.
Okay, all in favor? Yeah, I think so, okay.
One more, two left.
All right, yeah. I want to thank the media for being here tonight. Jerry, thank you for being here tonight. So, Hal, the monthly year-to-date stats?
We're on it, huh? And as the media may know that Don's in for his first one here, so good luck, Don.
It's all uphill from here, so.
Like I say, we'll make it short and sweet. Unfinished business, the walkway. Mike is there. He's got probably a quarter of it done. He should have most of it done by tomorrow. By the end of next week, it should be finished. It's looking pretty nice, actually. I think that walkway will be beautiful going into cremation, or into the baby land and in cremation 3. He's a little slow just because he's by himself now. So, but he's doing a great job, so that's on. As you see, the year in total on foundations, we had, before the last one, ended up with 122. Not a bad year for that, just so you understand that. The new one, number 1, may be the big one, I don't know. If you look, you have a separate piece of paper there, new business, a price increase. Just finished sitting down with the mayor, gave him this proposal. He's okay with it. Wanted me to run it through you guys. Be glad to go over a little bit. And some of the highlights. It'll be 4 years next year from the last increase. Since we bumped them up. I can go line through line, whatever you want to do. The big increase is down in the disinterments. You'll see quite a big jump there. We've been eating quite a bit of that when we do those. It takes a lot, especially on a full body, to get it dug out, to get it lifted out, to move.
Do you have very many of those, Hal?
Huh?
Do you have very many of those?
Hit and miss, no, not sometimes, yes, no.
I guess I
Yeah.
don't understand why you would,
Disinterment?
yeah, why they do that.
You have some where family members have passed and they want to be together. They might want to move their loved ones to an area where they can have lots around them.
Okay.
I mean, it's common. It's not anything wrong. I mean, like me, it took me forever. They'll go to buy a lot and like, boy, when we buried Mom, there was like plenty of lots. Well, not now. The cremation helps a lot because they can be put on top of full bodies. Some actually move. They come from somewhere else, which would just be a reinterment for us, or disinterment for us, to move. And then some actually come from other places into us.
If it wasn't so expensive, I'd bring my mama home from Kansas.
Yeah, there's a lot of people. It's just a family one. What we're seeing more is, now this year wasn't too bad, but a lot of times like the babies are in baby land, they now want them out with them and stuff like that. I'm a big fan of not moving. Once they're in, but it's not my call. So, I mean, you understand when we do a disinterment, it isn't just come and move. They have to get a funeral director's license. They have to get paperwork from the state. There's a lot of things to do, movements to do at this. So like I say, we do it very respectfully, but it's not any fun to do it. It really isn't to get one up and out. Like I say, I don't know, we did one we did, I believe this year, early on, we had to, we actually, in winter, put him in the wrong spot, and I had to move him. That was on us to do that one, which was no cost. But, so now, I don't have to bring the vault company in to bring them out. My machine is big enough to pull it out. I have the equipment to pull them out, so we can do them in-house. Unless they're gonna go a long distance, then no, I will hire the vault company to do that. So that's your big increase. The other one, the burials after 4, we have more and more people wanting to do that. To clarify, you guys have a rule that we do not bury after 4. I mean, it's actually a rule in there. People don't get that. There's no burials after 4. Some push the envelope where it gets close to 4. So I need that to kind of sting a little bit. Last year I had a lady, she didn't really care. She paid $1,000, which I went, okay. But we don't bury, they didn't understand we do not, Board of Regents has a rule that we do not bury after 4. So we made that up a little bit more just in case that would happen. So you understand 2 is if I have a funeral home out of town local, something weird happens, I can waiver that fee. Like they're coming, traffic jam, traffic accident, something like that, and they're heading that way, I can waiver. Overtime fees, you can see up. I believe it's necessary after 2:30. We don't want to push the family out, if that makes sense. So when you get them late, a lot of times, the funeral director, with a rule, back when I started 18 years ago, a funeral director had to stay until that loved one was all the way to the bottom of the hole. Now it's once it hits the rollers. Well, they leave and now it's us, and we don't have much communication with them, so I have to step in one way or the other. So we like them to be able to have their time and share, and they want to stand around, so we get, actually, we're there longer than normal to actually fill and bury sometimes. It's just a little touchy situation, so we have kind of watch. We don't want to rush it if we don't have to. So that's why you see some increases there. And with everything else, I mean, foundations were going up, price. I think babies, I can't remember, I think we left them alone except overtime, I believe so. So the little ones, we try to leave everything the same. I gotta look, I'm sorry, I haven't looked for the.
Fourth group down.
Yeah. So those have stayed the same. We not really want to do that. So you understand if funeral home calls me and the family doesn't have any money, the city owns the lots. We don't charge. Okay, so basically there's no opening fee, it's just lot fee. So if they can't afford it, the city pays for it. We just let the city own the lot and we put them in for nothing type thing. Sometimes that happens, it's a tragic and we don't want to mess with it. So any questions from media, you guys, whatever, what'll happen is if you okay this, then we set it up. We already have it set for an ordinance to go in. If you guys agree with these prices, and then it will go to the council, and they'll have to vote on it. I think it's 2 readings, I believe, to be effective first of the year is what we're heading for here.
Any other questions or concerns on the prices? Need a motion then?
I would like to have a motion and a vote, yes, and have it in the minutes.
I'll make a motion, we accept the proposed pricing for 2025 increases.
Okay,
Second?
second, okay. I think we're all in favor?
Aye.
Okay,
Perfect, thank you, guys. We'll get that up to City Hall and get it in, and for the council to vote. Jerry, you have any questions? You get to look at it, understand?
I see it.
All good. Hate to do it with everything doing, but I mean, in the past, we late 8 years, but just, when I pour concrete, my bill's $1,000 at least, just for concrete alone.
Concrete's our siding.
Yeah,
crazy.
and stuff, and different stuff, and it's just, labor and stuff, and keep my employees and whatnot, it's just kind of good to do, I think. So you understand, I think you do, when you start looking at numbers before we get away. We're having a decent year this year, it was because of, Mr. Lewis buying all those lots. But still, even with that, my budget's almost 900,000. I mean, we're gonna make 3, so when Jeff asked me what my main reason was, well, I just want to be good stewards to the tax. I mean, our council and everybody works so hard to keep our tax rate down. So what can I do to help? What little I can do, to do this. I mean, we're considered a perk in the city, and I appreciate that, and we keep the places, beautiful and stuff, but how can I offset a little bit of that? And so that's the reason. Overall, it's like a 4% raise. When you look at it, I've been go past numbers and stuff, it's hard to put everything together, because you don't do the same every year than what we do. So, anyway, thank you again, we'll move on. 2, new position. We've created a new position in Oakwood Cemetery in a supervisor role, which will be effective January 1st, which is Howard Keister is his name, is one of my employees. We didn't add an employee at all, we just are going to elevate one. Basically, it's another foot on the ground, so when I'm in meetings, different way or whatever, the communication, we were having some communication issues, me being tied up or can't be every place at once. And this gives me one of my employees right there where they can go to if I'm not around, and I think he's a very good choice. Second reason I wanted to do it in this leadership program that we're going through, the department heads are in phase 2. Most of my guys have been through phase one. I've got a couple yet to go in this leadership that Denny's doing. It's like an 8-week thing that they do in the morning and on Thursday morning. Denny and I were sitting talking way back several months and said, you know, sometimes he said our department heads are doing a great job, but sometimes got to check their ego and they need to kind of find somebody to replace them down the road. Nobody wants to be replaced. I'm one. I don't either, but I'm getting older. Who knows when? It's kind of weird that they could ever talk about retirement. We kind of are, but I'm scared of it, and I'm not ready to go. Not like I'm going anywhere right away, but it's kind of weird that I'm talking about it. I kind of sat back and was reflecting. I'm like, why don't I do that? Why don't I start to give? I mean, it's not my choice who replaces me. It's the mayor's choice. But if I can have one ready that he may want to pick, why not? Howie was he came from 30 years in the vault business, so he knows both ends really well. Kind of a straightforward guy, got a little grooming to do, a little, knock off some of the chips. It's kind of amazing. He was pretty excited about it, and he even said, how far are we taking this? Now, this guy does not like computers very well. And I said, how far do you want to take this? He said, well, he goes all the way. I said, there's computer stuff. He said, I had to learn to dig. I got to learn to do. So we'll eventually kind of work him into this. I think it's a cool thing. So, he's one of those go-getters. He's not getting paid right now. He's already started. I went out today and said, what are we doing? He goes, well, we changed this up. We're doing rock on. So we were out on a complicated dig where we had to move some foundations. And I'm like, hey, don't forget to support this. And he stepped in, we could do this. And I just went like this and walked away. Way back. All right. Like I say, for me, it's nice. I signed up 24/7, 7 days a week. That's what I signed for almost 18 years ago. It's kind of nice. I don't think I'm going to have to go back evenings and do paperwork. I'm going to have some time. But then again, like this week, I've been out blowing leaves in between while the bagger's doing it. And I told him, I said, if you don't come and say, hey, how can you get on a mower? We're going to have some issues. It's no big deal. I'm not going to sit in that office 24/7. I got things to do. He goes, no, this will let you do some more of the stuff you want to get done and do whatever, and you fill in. I said, I'm not going away. So he knew that. He looked at me the other day, and I'm like, he goes, what are you doing? I said, what do you think I'm doing? Get away from me. Fired up my backpack, and I'm on, and I'm doing. So with that, I don't think that's in there about cleanup. I don't want to jump ahead too much. As you guys know, I bought a stand-up turbine blower. The street bought one also. Yesterday, Dustin's allowed me to have his stand-up because they use it for asphalt. They're done. So I have 2 of these running right now. They've done 3/4 of cemetery in one day with 2 of those in these backpacks. It's pretty amazing how they're blowing leaves. I'm like, thank you. It was a very good investment for what we're doing. So they're rocking right now on doing this, and we're getting a ton of leaves out. So with that, I think it's a very good move. After the first year, I'll probably have him come to a meeting so you can get to meet him. His salary will be posted in there too also, and in the upcoming, it's already set up to do that. 3, Ken, you can talk a little bit about this. We're going to use the chapel this year for Veterans Day. I think it's a great idea that we do. It's kind of the first year, hopefully years to come. We gotta ring the bell and do some stuff, but if you'd like to ad-lib a little bit on that, that'd be great.
I think the main thing, we just decided to go with because of the bell being at the cemetery, we talked about doing the Veterans Day program at the Oakwood Chapel, and I think it's gonna be a good thing. And so we appreciate just being able to come to there. We're already used to parking people down in there for other events too, so it'll just, so I think it's gonna be a good thing, so.
Does that start at 10:30?
The program starts at 10:30 with music, and then the main program's at 11, but it starts at 10:30.
Okay, but then
So-
the main, so you have like kind of music.
There's
before,
music at the beginning of it, yeah.
And then
The
11.
Warsaw Community High School band's gonna be there, yeah, so. But I think it's, Hal and I talked a little bit about how the chapel's just kinda sitting there sometimes, not getting used, so.
Yeah.
With all the remodeling that has gone on, it looks awesome in there, so.
Yeah, if you can stop tomorrow, we got all the chairs set up, I think, like
Okay.
you want it, but double check. And then
Okay.
I have the old chairs as reserve that we could set back on the tile if we get more people. So, yeah, and then just let me know what I need to do.
Looking forward to that though, so
Yeah,
thank you.
I think so. Yeah, I'll be there. I didn't have any employees come, but I thought we can do that. If
Yeah.
I can go, I can ring the bell or do whatever you want me to
Okay,
do.
all
Or
right.
somebody, you can tell me what you need to do. But if
Okay.
you have a chance, stop in, just tell me what you
Okay.
want me to do.
Okay.
Would be fine. With that, I think it's a very good idea. We already talked leaf pickup. The guys are, like I say, they're rocking it right now. Street's gonna come in a little bit with one arm when we get time, but right now they're slamming. It's warm. People are or bundling leaves. It happened, I think, last year a little bit. He's actually split his crews. They do an evening shift also. I hear him on the radio and stuff going. So he told me, let me know. I said, the Lake Road is always our toughest. We've got the first one down. We still got plenty more to go. Haven't fall. We took the barbed wire off of that last year, which has helped a lot, one, to pick up leaves and everything. So actually that one arm can reach over and do that. So they're gonna try to do the first one if they can pick up. They were down there today, I don't know if it's the one arm or what, I heard them talking, they were gonna start a little bit and then group for their evening stuff, so. He'll come in if he can, if not, my guys will be able to take care of it, I think, without any problem. So like I say, that's going very well. 5 is, I'm sorry I did not bring pictures. I have worked with, I can't tell you, Graycraft, on some winter banners. We run the ones in the summer and we have the flags. And I just, maybe you guys love winter. I'm not a total fan. It's kind of dreary or whatever. But I just wanted to kind of have some snowy scenes, kind of birds, anything with some color to it. So we've kind of put together another set to put in for that. And they've also are making me a couple for the front because next year is not the 150th anniversary. These will just be Oakwood Cemetery banners unless we have some special events. They're also, I bought a couple things to put up, or actually signs with these QR codes. These QR codes are really working for people to find people in the cemetery. It takes them right there. It goes quick instead of having to go through the whole thing. With the site, they like it. So I talked to them about maybe doing that on a couple banners. And they did. I've ordered a few extra brackets. So like throughout the cemetery in the back or whatever, I could put a couple of those up. So if people are in there doing genealogy, they could hit those and take them right to that site and help them out. I think it's working out really, really well with those banners and doing that. So those are on order. I think they're really cool. We could, I've talked to not the right people yet. They do, and maybe you're more aware of it than I am, on Market Street. They do veterans on Market Street. I can't remember the lady's name that does that now.
Stone.
Pardon me?
Well, the mother's record stone, but it was started by Elizabeth.
Yes.
Yeah, so the Graycraft, I guess, does those also. I thought it'd be kind of cool. I don't know what their program or how they do it, if the family does it, if they'd like to incorporate maybe doing some in the cemetery. And Memorial Day or, whatever different times where we could pop them up and say we could hang them for a month or two, different ones. And then I don't know if they get the banner. I don't know how that
Are
works.
you talking just veterans?
Any military,
Or-
I'm
or-
open.
Or if somebody wants to memorialize a family member?
yeah, very possible. I'm
What-
open. Like I
what-
say, with these things, for me to slide them in and off, I'm not gonna, as many as I have, the whole set's like, it's like $1,800 a set, but I think they're like $75 a banner, but I don't know if they're working on a deal. I haven't got that far, but I guess with you, permission to go ahead and approach, maybe working something out with them if they would like to use ours.
My understanding, Jackie, my understanding is the banners are up for a certain amount of time,
They're up for a year.
and then they're given to the veteran's family.
Correct,
And they are living and deceased veterans who are up there.
correct.
So,
Like, out of like.
but you could do firemen, you could do, I don't know
Yeah,
how
what I'm
you,
saying is I have I think it's 24, which I can put up more, but I'm just saying we could do every other one, have some different stuff, but what a cool way to honor our heroes, you know what I'm saying? I really like that on Market Street, and I was kind of oblivious of it until I just drove down one day and went, what? And Graycraft kind of was filling me in, and I don't have all the details, but I'd like to kind of this winter maybe dig into that a little bit, and maybe Oakwood Cemetery could, I don't want any money for it. I mean, as long as they buy the banners, me popping them on, piece of cake, follow me? I just took all the summer ones off now, we're getting ready for the winter ones, but mix them in there. I mean, so if they can,
I think it would be worth talking to that committee, so we don't
I don't wanna step on their toes.
No,
Yeah.
that's.
Not at all.
Yeah,
No,
but
no,
I think
no.
it's a great idea.
But I'm like, if they don't have enough, or they have family coming and, you know, they're like saying, well, wow, we only have so many poles, but maybe you'd like to do it at the cemetery? I mean,
I'd approach the committee, Cal, and just say.
okay, I will try.
This is
Do you know
something-
the committee? Have you been involved in that?
I have talked to them, I'm sure I can go on, figure out her name.
Right, I'm sure I have Megan's email somewhere, I could.
Yeah, maybe if you could shoot it off to me, I'd like to maybe set up a meeting and maybe get you.
We could sit down and talk to her.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
would
yeah,
be
and just,
fine.
and just kind of offer our help, I guess.
Yeah,
Like I say,
yeah.
this, I'm not trying to do it to promote the cemetery at all.
Here's
I'm
another
trying to-
option, yeah.
Yeah,
But you could do police and fire, I mean, you could, the other thing too would be to take the idea and just go, but yeah, we need to talk to them first, because
yeah, I don't, yeah, I want
They may need more places to put banners too.
Yeah, I just
That
thought,
could be, I
what a
don't
way
know.
to, why not, you know, maybe not a whole year, or even if it's a whole year, we just do alternating, you know, maybe not the whole thing with
Yeah.
some flowers and some of them. Just another way to help promote, that's all.
I think it's a great idea. I
Yeah.
think, and maybe
I mean, the poles are paid for, I'll make that, yeah, why not? And I just thought it'd be kind of cool, but maybe they're not into putting it in the cemetery, I don't know. But I just thought we might look into that and see if we can help. Are you okay with that, everybody? Cool.
Yep.
Cool, cool. I will look into that a little bit more. Line 6, every year we do what they call line 1, line 2 cuts. That's Jerry's fault, not mine. No, I'm just picking on you, Jerry. If you guys are aware, in the short version of this, we set our budgets, you know, in July. They take it up, they approve them, then they come back and we might have to do some cuts. That is a line 1 cut. That's where they come and say, what can you really live without? Like, you know, when you start doing your budget in July, it's a lot of, you don't know fuel, you don't know what's going on. You're flipping coins, you're trying to make sure you have enough money for the year, because Jerry's kind of stubborn, won't give us any extra, you know. I see how he is. But in this thing, sometimes we're fortunate that things aren't as much money, or we don't have, then they ask at the year to help out with that tax base, correct? They do a line 2 cut. So the cemetery was able to give back $52,000 of this year's budget back. So I wanted to make sure you guys understood that when you look at the budget. So a lot of that was insurance. Actually, well, I'm gonna brag. I believe the city has one of the best insurance around. I just really do, personally. It actually went down. It really did. And actually, the people are gonna see, or the employees are gonna see a little discount in their, what they pay, which I went, huh? So, yeah, it's kind of cool. So we've been doing really, one, knock on wood, we're not having a lot of insurance claims. So that helps. It helps the whole picture with everybody staying healthy and not being stupid and whatever, and keeping that rate down. It kind of helps also. But it's a thumbs up on the one we have, I believe. I just really like our insurance we have for the city, I think, overall. When we do our end year, the guys get to see that and what we pay for them and different stuff, and it's just a good plan. So I just wanted to make sure you guys saw that. The only other thing that just happened this week is I have to buy a new ice machine. Ours just puked. I bought it in 2009 and she just finally went by. So they're looking at getting a price on another one now. We use it all the time. And my secretary, I lowered to desk, she goes, well, why don't you just buy bags of ice? I said, well, I did that for a while, and then the mayor finally let me get an ice machine. I just went up, picked up 2 bags of ice out of my pocket, so they had some, it was $10. 2 bags, I went, we're buying an ice machine. Sorry, we're gonna buy an ice machine. It really helps with these guys. It's, if you understand, my rule is, more summer than winter. I have like a 2-liter, 2-gallon thermoses. They have to go. If they not, then I will talk to them. I'll give them a day off. Hydration is a big thing we push out there, and they all have no problem doing it. So part-time, full-time, I get the jugs, and they carry water all the time. They're doing it now. They're still carrying to take water out with them, so they stay hydrated, which is cool. I'm probably the worst one of all. But anyway, after that, that's all I have, unless you guys have anything else for me.
At one time, Hal, you were talking about digging a hole in that area to see if there's.
And I have not.
Well, I'm saying, no, I've been by that. Yeah, I'm thinking, now we got some kind of drought conditions.
Yeah, it's not really gonna good one, so we'll hopefully next year get that in.
Well, but it might be a good time to get the backhoe in there and get a hole done.
Yeah, we may before winter go get one set up. and
Yeah, I
get
mean,
done.
once the leaves are down, I mean,
Yeah.
that's a
We'll have
that's
time.
a down the road, whatever.
Yeah,
but,
kind of near where we want to. No, it's still on my plate to do.
Okay,
We just haven't
okay,
got down there and
okay.
done one yet.
Have you had any luck with the the electrical line quote on?
No, they
Okay,
kinda forgot me, so I
They're all
was
pretty
gonna.
busy right now. I
Yeah,
know.
yeah, and so I
Okay.
thought next
I
year
figured-
I'd pop in, money's in there to do it, it's just getting a quote and seeing how much.
Yeah.
Cause that's something I really wanna do, to get
Yeah.
that over there,
But I
one for the
figured-
flags and,
It's
Right.
tough getting contractors right now. for
Yeah,
cer-
I
for cer-
think-
For
well-
certain things.
yeah, I think he just kinda forgot me and I just kinda let it go, cause I knew
Yeah.
things were busy and. Yeah, so that's a couple of the projects. Next year on plate, big projects, if any, is, I have a wall in the old section I wanna do. I got a little extra money to do a couple other things, but Mike, there's a wall on the other side of where I wanna do it. We put one in, and just to clean up some of the old stuff, and this one's a pretty big one. And he told me, he says, you know, I still wanna do that wall. I said, yeah, it's in the plate. He goes, but I'm fixing the one across. I said, okay, what's that gonna cost me? He goes, no, I'm fixing it. He doesn't like it. He wants to, that's how picky this guy is, so. I'm like, all right, we'll work something out, but we'll, if not, we'll help him or whatever. It's just, we kinda went with the contour of the hill, and this one's kinda gotta be stepped, because it makes a turn, and he wants it to match. That, yeah, he goes, we walk in, he goes, that wall drives me nuts every time my family walks out here. I'm like, all right, we'll fix it. You're like, Mike, so, I really like his work, like I say, it's really, and I keep looking, there's stuff in the old section that I'm just trying to fix up from years of nobody doing anything, so.
One thing I have gotten a lot of people asking me, we just wonder, at this point, the plan is for the next Heritage Walk to be in 2026.
Correct.
Because I've had more people saying, well, you're doing it next year, right? And I
Yeah.
said, no, we're doing it every other year, so.
Yeah,
But
I would like to have a
that
year
lends
break.
to the fact that it was a really successful event.
That's it, yeah, I think it was very successful.
Yeah, but we are looking at 2026, so.
Okay, if you weren't fortunate to go on that, and this is one for you, ma'am, down there also, if you go on the city website right now, and find me, which I'm not real fond of the city website, so you have to take your arrow up to live, and then all the menus will come with all our departments up, and you hit Oakwood, the walking tour videos is on my thing now.
Okay.
We have it on there, so you can watch them. It takes you to YouTube on each one, and you can listen to them. And in fact, my phone's been blown because they sent it to Patsy and Cheryl, and they've sent it out to the actors, and they're all pumped that they can go and watch that now. So, yeah, it was, where people are still talking. So, you know, too, with that, which I would have never thought of, is after it was over, people came and said, "Can you have the maps? We'd like to go walk it." So we had to set the map up and set them with some stuff, and where they could take and go walk that tour also. Yeah, a lot of good reviews. Every year it'd be nice, I think, a year off, just to let us regroup, and then maybe we can pick it up if we get good at it. Then I have no problem with every year. Like I say, people ask, I said, I got 19,300 people, and they all have guests there that all have stories. You could, because everybody goes, "Where you going? So what are you doing?" I'm like, I don't know. That's why we have a small committee. We'll figure it out. And I think the actors enjoyed it too. And
Yeah,
so also, so you, this is new. Mr. Green, he used to be a pastor at WCC. He now works at the high school. Anyway, it must be in video, something, whatever. He said, "Get a hold of me. We'd like to be part. We can make that our some of our projects."
good.
So we have some of the video in now also. He thought, I showed him, Wyatt was in the last performance with my granddaughter, in this last junior performance, and he was selling, he's big into that. So he said, please get a hold of me, we'll see if we can do some stuff, so that's kind of cool. The more we can get community involved, that's the whole idea here. So yeah, I had a lot of great people respond and talk to us about it. Yeah. So other than that, if you have any questions for
Any
me?
questions, input?
Never do, I appreciate that. No, that's
Okay.
all right, so that's all I have.
Well, we certainly want to remember the next 2 months for people who have lost somebody. We need to, it can be a tough time of year, so.
Yep.
So, and that's why it's so important that we have a great place for people, at least buried in Oakwood, to come
Yeah.
and mourn or whatever, so, but certainly remember them. And thank you to all of our veterans for their service to our country as well, and thank you for, again, for being at the chapel. So if there's not anything else, we're adjourned then.
December the 5th.
I can't believe you're saying this.
No, it's crazy.
This year has just,